You just won't listen when I tell you I'm kissing someone else.
Hi guys, today I'm coming to you with a quick tutorial on this look. This look is inspired by Rosie Connolly. I saw her wearing this look over the weekend, and ever since I did, I was like, girl, I basically want to look like you. So that's why I decided to recreate this look. I really like it. I really like the way it turned out. I used different products than Rosie did. And I took kind of my version on that look. But I really like it. I think it's very wearable and perfect for a night out or a special occasion. Also, just yesterday I went to Space NK, I think that's how it's called, and I've picked up a couple of new makeup items. So this is also going to be first impression of those items that I've picked up. So if you want to learn how to recreate this look, and if you want to hear my first impression opinion on the products that I've picked up, then continue watching my video. Okay, so let's start. As I said, I am going to be testing a couple of new things that I got. I got a couple of things from Space NK, and I am very excited to use them. So let's see what we have. So the first thing I'm going to be testing is Cover FX custom cover drops, and I wanted to get these for a really long time, but I never thought I'd be able to get them in Dublin. But I did, so yeah, finally. I think they were released around last year, and ever since I really wanted to get them, but again, I didn't think I was able to get them in Dublin, and I wasn't quite sure what colour to choose if I was to order them online. So anyways, I have them now, and these are cover drops, and they're saying to use 1 to 2 drops for light coverage, then 2 to 3 drops for medium, and so on and so on. And just so you can mix those drops with moisturizer or whatever you want. So before I actually apply them, I'm going to be using my Prep and Prime a Natural Radiance base, which is the tiny little size. I think it's a sample size. But I really love this product, so as soon as I run out, I will definitely be repurchasing this. Just going to apply this all over my face. Okay, so I'm going to shake my cover drops. So that's how much I took. Let's see how is that going to last. I am using my Beauty Blender to apply. This is like full coverage, and it really is yellow. I always struggle with colour for my foundation because it's quite difficult to find things that are actually yellow, but this is proper yellow. This is probably like the highest coverage I have in my foundations. I'm not quite sure if I'm loving it just yet, but yeah, I am liking it. Anyways, I'm gonna go for another drop because that didn't last long, I mean. It looks way darker than my skin tone is on the camera. But actually, if you saw my lower body, you will probably notice that my body is way more tanned than my face. So the fact that it makes me a little bit darker is actually good news. Okay, so I have the foundation on. So far I am liking it. I think I've used like 3 drops. I'm not even full 3 drops, but for me this is probably the fullest coverage that I can handle. Like, it's quite full. I don't really do full coverage foundation, therefore it's a bit strange for me. But anyways, yeah, so far I am liking it. So another item that I'm going to be testing today as well is my brand new concealer, and this is by BECCA Ultimate Coverage Concealing Cream, and this product is quite heavy as well. I don't know why I'm doing really heavy makeup, but at the end of the day, this is the kind of look, what I'm trying to do, the kind of look that you would kind of wear rather for the night out than for the daytime. So I don't mind it being a bit heavy. Anyways, BECCA concealer, and my concealer is in shade Tahini, I think it's called. Yeah, so let's try this bad boy. I'm going to be using my Real Techniques fluffy brush to apply. This is actually an eyeshadow brush that I totally hate and never ever use as an eyeshadow brush. So we'll see how it's going to work as a concealer brush. It's going to be applying underneath my eyes, and I'm going into this kind of triangle shape. Just gently, I don't want to flip out, if you know what I mean. I'm going to use a little bit in around my nose, that's when I get redness, and around my chin, that's where I get spots. or I should say imperfections. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend. Okay, I think we have it pretty much blended. And because for this look I want to do a slightly bit of a contouring, so I'm going to be using another product which is also, it's not really concealer, but it's kind of like a highlighting pen slash highlighting pen. And this is by a Polish brand called Eveline, and the packaging, the name of it is completely gone, so I can't tell you more about it, but I think it's in the shade Light. And I am just going to apply it underneath my eyes slightly and kind of go into my cheekbones. I am also going to apply it as the way I would highlight my face. So in around my nose, middle of my nose, my cupid's bow and my chin. And again, going back to my beauty blender, I am just going to blend everything. For contouring today, I am going to be using the product that I use probably the most when I'm on the go, and this is an NYX Wonder Stick, and mine is in shade Universal, and I'm just using the darker part, and I'm just going to be contouring the usual cheekbones, forehead, etc. And again, I'm using my beauty blender to blend. Now when I have that done, I am going to be setting my concealer and all the lighter parts of my face with my LORAC MERCIER setting powder. This is just translucent powder, and I'm using my beauty blender to apply. Now I don't intend to bake on my face for too long, I just don't really like the feeling. So I am going to use large brush, and I'm just going to dust the powder off. Now I'm going to be moving on to eyebrows, and for my eyebrows today I am going to be using, as always, Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade, and that's basically it. I am not going to film how I do on my eyebrows because I do have a tutorial, and I'm just going to insert a link down below to my eyebrow tutorial if you want to see it. Okay, so now my eyebrows are on, and I'm going to move on to an eyeshadow procedure. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to even out my skin tone in around my eyelids, and I am going to be using the BECCA concealer again. So I'm just going to use a tiny little bit with the same brush that I've used to apply earlier on. It's literally what I have kind of had left on the brush. Just going to use my finger to blend that, because again this concealer is quite thick. Therefore, using your fingers is quite good because it will help the product to melt. And I am going to be using my LORAC MERCIER powder, a setting powder, to set my concealer on my eyes as well. And I'm going to be using just a blending fluffy brush to do that. Now with all that done, I can move on to applying an eyeshadow. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to be applying is from my Anastasia Beverly Hills little palette, and I actually have to take it out to find out the name for you. It's called BENGAL. I'm using the same fluffy brush that I've used to apply the powder, and I'm going to be applying it above my crease to kind of create that fake crease, because my crease is quite low. So I want to bring my crease up a little bit. I'm using tiny little bit of an eyeshadow at the time, and I'm very gently just moving the brush around. Now using the same brush, I'm going to be moving into a different eyeshadow, and it is my next favorite eyeshadow from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's called FAWN, and it's this one right here. No, this one right here. So again, the same brush, and I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing. I'll try to kind of darken the crease a little bit. Okay, now to darken it up a little bit, I'm gonna go to my LORAC Pro palette, and I'm gonna be using the shade called SABLE. Where is it? This one here. So just again, gently, I'm switching into more kind of fluffy brush, and very gently and very lightly, I am just going to be applying it to this part of my crease mainly to darken it up a little bit. Now I'm going to be moving on to the lid part of my eye, and because I want the lid to really stand out and be quite glittery, but I'm not going to be using pigment, I'm going to be using eyeshadows. I am going to first prep it with my MAC illuminating cream. Sorry, this is storbing cream actually. I'm just going to use a tiny little bit and just on my lid. And this is going to act like a base. It's quite light, so it will make the eyeshadow stick to the lid. Now for the lid, I'm going to be using a shade called Champagne from my LORAC Pro palette, and I'm just going to apply it all over the lid. The brush I'm using is my pretty much most favorite flat brush from MAC, Cancer 214 I think, and I'm going to spray it with Prep and Prime before I apply. Now to tidy this up a little bit and make the transition in between the light shadow and the dark eyeshadow a little bit more sharp, that's the right word, I am going to be using flat brush. This is one of my Real Techniques brushes. It's called eyeliner brush, but it really sucks at doing eyeliner. I think it's way too thick for eyeliner, so I'm using it to define the line in between the light and the dark eyeshadow. And I'm going to go to my LORAC Pro palette and use the shade called Sable and Espresso, which is these two right here. I'm just gently going to be drawing a line right in between my crease and my upper crease. And now I'm going to go for a small pointy blending brush, and this brush is by Zoeva, and it's number 234 or 231, I can't really tell. And I'm going to try to blend it just above the crease slightly bit. Now I'm going to go back to my flat brush and my lighter shade, and I'm going to try to define the line again in between the dark and the light. Now when I have the lid done, I'm going to be moving on to an eyeliner, and for my eyeliner today, as always, I'm using my INGLOT gel liner mixed with Duraline by INGLOT as well, and I'm going to be doing this wing liner. And the first thing I'm going to try to do is to actually do an outline of the wing, so basically give my eye a shape, my eyeliner a shape, and I'm going to fill it in entirely. I know there are so many people struggling with the eyeliner, but I think the key is to make sure that your brush is quite wet. Therefore, every time before I actually put my brush into an eyeliner, I dip it into my Duraline. Duraline are basically those drops by INGLOT that make your eyeliner more runny. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this eyeliner. The next step I'm going to do is I'm going to darken up my waterline underneath. And to do so, I am going to be using my Barry M, just a black eyeliner, and I'm just going to add it into my upper waterline first. I'm also going to add it to my lower lash line, but I'm going to be very gentle the way I apply it. Now, to smoke out that lower lash line, I'm going to be using, on the beginning, the very thin Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to smoke it out with my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow. I just kind of prefer to go really gentle because I don't want this under eye to be overpowering, so I use kind of lighter eyeshadow rather than darker, because I prefer to add darker on top if there is a need for it. And I'm going back to the pencil, and I'm just going to add it literally into my outer corner and into my outer corner waterline. And going back to the brush, I'm going to go for a darker shade in my palette. I'm going back to my LORAC Pro palette, and I'm using the shade called Sable, and I'm just going to apply it in the outer corner. Now I'm going to move on to my pointy blending brush, and I'm going to be using the shade called Taupe, also from my LORAC Pro palette, and I'm just going to smoke my lash line underneath my eye. And now when pretty much my eye look is completed, I'm going to be moving on to my mascara. And if you guys are watching me for quite a bit, you probably know that I always use a mascara primer / conditioner. So before I apply my mascara, I'm going to be using 8-in-1 Total Action, and this is a concentrated eyelash serum which I use every single day, and it really makes a difference. Not only it makes your lashes grow, but it also preps them before you apply your mascara, therefore your eyelashes look twice the size that they actually are, which is brilliant. So I'm going to apply this prior to application of my mascara. And now I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara, and as always I'm using my total favourite mascara, which is by 17 Falsify HD Mascara, and it is the best mascara I've ever used in my life. So that makes a difference. I think I'm going to go ahead and apply a couple of false lashes. I'm not the biggest fan of strip lashes, therefore I think I'm going to go for individual lashes. The lashes I'm going to be using are individual lashes by PS, which is the brand that you can find in Primark/Pennies. I really love them. They come in a bulk. It's not actually one by one. There is, see, there is bulk of lashes, and they come in two different lengths. I think short, I don't know, maybe short, medium, and a long. So I'm just going to apply literally a couple of them. Now I've added some lashes, and I think I've added about 5 bundles, so that's it. And now I'm going to go off camera and apply my second eye and come back to you when we finish the rest of the face. Alright, now I have both eyes done, so it's time to move on to my face. So I'm going to start with bronzer, and for my bronzer today, and pretty much as always, I'm going to be using my Give Me Some by MAC. And recently I've started to use this large brush. This is just by Sephora, I think, but I don't really know. And I really like this brush to apply my bronzer, so I'm just going to go ahead and start applying it. For my blush today, I'm going to be using an actual eyeshadow, which is by Catrice, and it's very nice and bright and orange, and I quite like it. And the brush I'm going to be using is by, I think it's by Zoeva, and it's 127 long sheer cheek brush. Now to blend all this and to make sure that the finish is absolutely flawless, I'm going to be using by MAC Studio Fix powder and one of my kabuki brushes as well. And I'm just very, very gently going to dab my brush into the powder and blend everything together on my face, very gently. Now for my highlighter today, I'm going to be using a brand new product, which is by BECCA by Jaclyn Hill, and this is the highlighter called Champagne Pop. Apparently it's amazing, so this is going to be my first impression as well because I haven't used it. It's brand new. To apply my highlighter, as always, I'm going to be using one of those flat fluffy brushes. All my brushes are actually bent because I had them in this makeup bag and they were a bit too long, so they're all kind of like going to one side, but well, what can you do? Now I'm very excited about trying this highlighter. Oh my god, I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, this is going to be my new favorite, I'd say. I've been using Mary Luminizer forever, but this, oh my god, it's gorgeous. I'm actually just going to use my finger and apply it to the top of my nose and my cupid's bow. And the last step to complete this look is to apply lipstick, and today I am going to be using my MAC Double Wear liner, and I'm going to mix it with NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and this is in shade Stockholm. So that's how the look turned out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I am pretty happy with what I've achieved on my face, I have to say. I am also pretty happy with the new products that I've picked up yesterday. I've enjoyed using them, especially the highlighter. Oh my god, it's just amazing. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and make sure that you subscribe to my channel because there's going to be more videos like this coming to you. I'm trying to get the video up every week, possibly maybe even twice a week, but I'm not going to promise anything. Also, if you want to know more about me, then make sure you follow me on my social media. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye bye.